Hey fans, in this episode we're firing up the Southwick time machine and we're heading back to the mid to late 1800s to Congamond Lake, better known then as Southwick Ponds. Now some people did refer to it as Congamond based on the Native Americans that were once there, but it was primarily called Southwick Ponds. Anyway, let's dive in. Here we go. So before the railroad added a stop there in the mid 1800s, there really wasn't a lot going on at Southwick Ponds. The ponds were primarily surrounded by woods. You could hunt, you could fish, you could rent a boat, you could pick daylilies, you could have a picnic. And in the wintertime, it was pretty much just ice harvesting, so really not a lot going on there. That all changed once the railroad added a stop. So when the railroad added a stop, all of a sudden you had a lot of city dwellers, people from New Haven, Springfield, from Hartford, just making a day trip to Southwick Ponds to escape the heat and cool off in the spring-fed waters of Congamond. So some businessmen wanted to capitalize on this. They said, hey, we have all these people coming here. So all of a sudden they started building hotels and different accommodations. Restaurants started springing up, dance halls, picnic groves, casinos. Now, when we're talking about casinos, we're not talking about gambling halls. We're talking about kind of like social clubs, if you will. So the area became extremely popular. The railroad kept putting additional trains in service, adding additional stops. Very, very, very popular. It was the place that you wanted to be. Now, it's very hard to imagine that now because the lakes are very residential today. There's only maybe a couple restaurants there. There's really no attractions there. But it was very common for thousands of people to be at Southwick Ponds on any given weekend. Now, the railroad did a study, and for the summer of 1879, they anticipated that some 40,000 people were going to visit Southwick Ponds. Now, you have to remember, all of this development was pretty much happening on the south end of Middle Pond. Now, North Pond and the north end of Middle Pond was still very hard. We're talking about like the Point Grove Road area. That area was still very, very difficult to reach. There was no automobiles. The roads were dirt. So everything was kind of clustered. People kind of stayed around where the train stop was. Now you could walk to the various amusements and different things. With the accommodations, people all of a sudden, instead of just staying for the day, they would stay for a few nights. They would stay for weeks. Some people stayed for months. Some people stayed for the entire summer season. Now, the summer season in New England is very small, and in the Pioneer Valley, you're maybe looking at 12 weeks, so you're not talking about a lot, a big time frame there. But anyway, it was so popular. So railroad officials said, hey, all these people are coming here, and we have this picnic grove. Now, they had a picnic grove that was primarily for railroad employees, but they did let the general public use it for free. And they said, this is being underutilized. So they decided to build a first-class hotel and a dining and dance pavilion there. So they bought some land adjacent to their picnic grove. And in 1879, a two-story dining and dance pavilion opened. It was absolutely beautiful. It was an instant hit with people. And then basically next door, if you will, they opened a first-class hotel. Now, when the hotel first opened, it was only open like late June through mid-August, so a very short window of time. And then some years when the weather was better, they went ahead and expanded it, and they would do like mid-May through September. Anyway, very popular places, very hard to imagine that. How cool would it have been just to be there, experience all the different attractions, all the things going on, and just all the people. Most of it was good, just family, wholesome fun. Now, you did have issues with illegal alcohol and, of course, fights breaking out and that kind of thing. But like I said, it was a place to be. It was just very, very interesting. You can read about it. There's a story on the Southwick Time Machine about the railroad. It's called Next Stop, Southwick Ponds. Then there's a separate story about the Railroad Pavilion Hotel. I went by different names. Sometimes it was called the Congamond Hotel. Sometimes it was called the Railroad Hotel. But very interesting stuff. Look out for that. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We had, over the years, I had a lot of requests to do a YouTube channel. People wanted videos and podcasts, so we're giving it a shot. So here we go. So with your help, we can get the ads off of the Southwick Time Machine. And don't forget to check your February edition of Southwoods for a Diamond of Deceit. That's a story that takes place. It's true crime. Takes place in Granville in 1920. I want to know your feedback on that, so please drop a comment and let me know. Hope you're having a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.